Good morning. Today we take up second case of vector addition. What is second case of vector addition? When tail and tail of vectors coincide. The vector OA, vector OB, tail and tail is coinciding at point O. In this case, how vector addition is carried out? Let us see. Now, vector addition is carried out in such a case by using parallelogram law of vectors. When tail and tail of two vectors to be added coincide, then vector addition is carried out by parallelogram law of vectors. Now, what is parallelogram law of vectors? Let us try to understand it. First, I give you the statement of parallelogram law of vectors. Parallelogram law of vectors can be stated as if two vectors acting at a point are represented in magnitude and direction by two adjacent sides of a parallelogram drawn through that point, then their resultant is represented in magnitude and direction by the diagonal of the parallelogram passing through that point. I repeat, if two vectors acting at a point are represented in magnitude and direction by two adjacent sides of a parallelogram drawn through that point, then the resultant is represented in magnitude and direction by the diagonal of the parallelogram passing through that point. Now, these are the two sides of parallelogram, adjacent sides OA and OB. OA represents vector A, small a, and OB represents vector small b. And then if we complete the parallelogram, then OC represents the diagonal of this parallelogram. So OC is represented by vector capital R. The two vectors are inclined at an angle theta, and direction of diagonal, the resultant with OA, is given by angle phi. Now, how we add up these two? The resultant OC, vector OC is equal to vector OA plus vector OB. So, resultant OC is equal to vector OA plus vector OB, or we can express it as vector R is equal to vector A plus vector B. Now, we are to, because it is a vectorial expression, so we are to calculate its magnitude and direction. Because it is a vector quantity, resultant is a vector, this vector is equal to vector A plus vector B. So, we are to find out magnitude, its magnitude and direction. Now, let us see. Now, consider equation 1. Vector OC is equal to vector OA plus vector OB. This is vectorial addition. And we are to proceed now for finding magnitude and direction of resultant. So, how we find magnitude and direction of resultant? Let us see. So, magnitude of resultant R. So, do some construction. Drop CM perpendicular OA extended to M. Draw CM perpendicular to OA extended to M. Now, consider right angled triangle OMC. OMC. Using Pythagoras theorem, we have OC square is equal to OM square plus CM square. OC square is equal to OM square plus CM square. Now OM can be expressed as OA plus AM. OM is equal to OA plus AM. So we replace OM square by OA plus AM whole square plus CM square as it is. So we open this bracket, we square this term. So we write it as OC square is equal to OA square plus AM square. OA square plus AM square plus 2 OA AM plus 2 OA into AM plus CM square as it is. Let us mark it as equation number 2. Now AC is parallel and equal to OB. AC is parallel and equal to OB, and it is equal to vector small b. So now let us resolve AC into its components. Since AC parallel component is equal to AM, parallel component AC parallel would be equal to AM, and AC perpendicular would be equal to CM. So therefore we have here AC parallel equal to AM equal to AC cos theta. The parallel component of AC is AC cos theta, and perpendicular component of AC is equal to CM. Perpendicular component of AC is equal to CM is equal to AC sin theta. This perpendicular component is equal to AC sin theta, we have learnt in the last topic. Now substituting the values of AM and CM in equation 2. We substitute the values and find OC square is equal to OA square. OC square is equal to OA square plus, in place of AM we put AC cos theta whole square plus 2 OA AM. In place of AM we put AC cos theta and plus CM square. In place of CM we put AC sin theta square. So we have, after substitution, OC square is equal to OA square plus AC cos theta whole square plus 2 OA AC cos theta plus AC sin theta whole square. We square these terms and we write the equation as OC square is equal to OA square plus AC square cos square theta plus 2 OA AC cos theta plus AC square sin square theta. Let us mark it as equation 3. Now we come here, we take AC square common between this term and this term. In equation 3, this term and this term, we take AC square common between these two terms and write it as OC square is equal to OA square plus AC square common into cos square theta plus sin square theta plus 2 OA AC cos theta as it is. Now since cos square theta plus sin square theta is equal to 1, so we replace this expression by OC square is equal to OA square plus AC square plus 2 OA AC cos theta. Now replace these vectors by their substitutes. So OC is R, OA is A, small a, AC is small b, and we replace by their substitutes, replace them by their substitutes. So mod r square is equal to mod of vector A square plus mod of vector B square plus 2a mod B mod cos theta, and we take under root. Now it is square, we take under root. So mod r is equal to under root of mod A square plus mod B square plus 2 mod A mod B cos theta. Let us mark it as equation number 4. Now equation 4 gives us the resultant of addition, and this equation gives us the magnitude of resultant r. So magnitude of resultant r is equal to under root of mod A square plus mod B square plus 2 mod A mod B cos theta. Now after finding out the magnitude of resultant of addition of two vectors, we go to find the direction of resultant. So let us see how we find the direction of resultant. Let us find direction of resultant r. Consider right angled triangle OMC. OC is resultant and it is inclined with vector OA at an angle phi, and we have to find this angle phi, which will give us direction of resultant with OA. Now in this triangle we find tangent phi. Tangent phi is equal to CM over OM. CM over OM. The ratio of perpendicular to base of the right angle triangle gives us the tangent phi. Now OM can be split into two parts, OA plus AM. OA plus AM. So it is equal to OM. So we replace OM by OA plus AM. Let us mark it as equation number 5. Now since AM is equal to AC cos theta and CM is equal to AC sin theta, therefore equation 5 can be expressed as tangent phi is equal to AC sin theta divided by OA plus AC cos theta. We replace CM by AC sin theta and AM by AC cos theta. Let us mark it as equation number 6. Now since AC is parallel and equal to AB, AC is parallel and equal to AB, and it is equal to mod of vector small b, and OA is equal to mod of vector small a. OA this vector, OB this vector. Now replacing OA and AC by their substitutes, we have tangent phi is equal to mod B sin theta divided by mod A plus mod B cos theta. We replace AC and OA by their substitutes. So we have tangent phi equal to mod B sin theta divided by mod A plus mod B cos theta, or phi is equal to tangent inverse mod B sin theta divided by mod A plus mod B cos theta. Let us mark it as equation 7. Now equation 7 gives us the direction of resultant with respect to vector OA. Since R is inclined with OA at an angle phi, So this equation gives us the direction of resultant. Now we go for discussion. Now we come to discussion on the result. Resultant R is equal to under root of mod A square plus mod B square plus 2 mod A mod B cos theta. This is equation number 4, as we have already mentioned. Now we take up the case when theta equal to 0. Case 1, when theta is equal to 0, then mod R will be equal to under root of A square plus B square plus 2AB cos 0. Here 0, theta is replaced by 0. And cos 0 is 1. As you know, cos 0 is 1. So we replace cos 0 by 1. So we have resultant R is equal to under root of A square plus B square plus 2AB into 1. Or we can write resultant as under root of A square plus B square plus 2AB. And this can be expressed as equal to under root of A plus B whole square. So under root of A plus B whole square is equal to A plus B. So when theta is 0, means the two vectors are parallel or in line with each other, then their resultant is given by the addition of their magnitudes. So you remember this result. This result is applicable in so many situations which will come up in near future. Now case 2, when theta is equal to pi. In that case, we put cos theta, the value of theta equal to pi. So resultant R is equal to under root of A square plus B square plus 2AB cos pi, and value of cos pi is minus 1. So we put cos pi equal to minus 1. Then resultant R will be equal to under root of mod A square plus mod B square plus 2 mod A mod B into minus 1. And then after evaluating this, resultant R will be equal to mod A square plus mod B square minus 2AB, and it is the square of A minus B. So resultant is equal to under root of A minus B whole square. After taking square root, we are left with resultant R is equal to A minus B. It means when the two vectors are anti-parallel, are opposite to each other, then their resultant is given by the subtraction of their magnitudes. So these two results are very important for you people because these are applicable in some situations where you have to apply it directly. So do remember that when two vectors are parallel, are acting at the same point in same direction, then the resultant is equal to sum of their magnitudes. And when they are anti-parallel, are acting in opposite direction at the same point, then their resultant is equal to subtraction of their magnitudes. So we have to apply this in various situations to solve some problems. So let us go to the assignment 4. Next question of assignment 4. That is question number 4. Now we look at addition of vectors when vectors are given in rectangular form. Consider two vectors, vector A and vector B. Vector A is equal to AX I cap plus ay j cap plus az k cap, and vector b is equal to bx I cap plus by j cap plus bz k cap. These are two vectors which are expressed in rectangular form. Now we have to add them. Vector A plus vector B. We have to find out its result. Now the method is, what we do, coefficients of I cap, j cap and k cap are added up individually. So we add up. So vector A plus vector B is equal to, we take I cap common, in bracket we write ax plus bx, we take j cap common, we write ay plus by, and we take k cap common, we write az plus bz. So this way we carry out addition of vectors when they are given in rectangular form. So the coefficients of I cap, j cap and k cap, I cap, j cap and k cap are added up individually with the I cap outside the bracket, j cap outside the bracket and k cap outside the bracket respectively. Same is the method for subtraction. If we subtract vector b from vector A, that is A minus B is equal to I cap ax minus bx plus j cap ay minus by plus k cap into az minus bz. This is how we write the subtraction. Now a question for practice for you, a question for practice. If vector A is equal to ax I cap plus ay j cap plus az k cap, and vector B is equal to bx I cap plus by j cap plus bz k cap, and vector C is equal to cx I cap plus cy j cap plus cz k cap, then find the resultant of the three as vector T equal to vector A plus vector B minus vector C. Also compute Tx, Ty and Tz. So you have to solve it. It is a practice for you. Now, next question of assignment 4. Question number 4. Find the magnitude and direction of resultant of two forces of 10 Newton and 15 Newton acting at a point at an angle of 60 degree as shown. This is one force 15 Newton, this is second force 10 Newton inclined at an angle 60 degree acting at this point O. And you have to find out the magnitude and direction of resultant. Here is the answer. You can compare after calculation of results. Now question number 5. Two vectors A equal to 3 Newton and B equal to 1 Newton are inclined at an angle of 30 degree as shown. Vector A, vector B are inclined at an angle of 30 degree. Find magnitude and direction of their sum. You have to add up these two vectors. So find out the resultant, the magnitude of resultant and direction of resultant. Question number 6. Find magnitude and direction of resultant of two vectors 10 Newton and 15 Newton acting at a same point in same direction. So here is the result. You have to mention the direction also, and you have to find out and justify this result. Now question number 7. Find magnitude and direction of resultant of two forces 3 Newton and 1 Newton acting at same point in opposite direction. So here is the result, 2 Newton. You have to draw the diagram and justify and calculate the result and then justify it. Now, we come to the end of vector addition here. I hope you would have learned the topic well and carefully. If you have learnt it perfectly, then you should be able to solve these problems. Thank you very much. And tomorrow we'll take up next topic, different expressions of vectors, how vector can be expressed in different ways, that we will see tomorrow.